Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 Manager 2022 and another part of our Aston Martin Road to Glory career mode. Today we have got our home Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix. And once again, I just want to say thank you for the support. Lots of comments on the last video when I asked you, what would you do? Would you go all in to win this championship, or would you, try and ride on the successes of this season, but also have one eye on next season? Because we're doing incredibly well at the moment. I think we're absolutely smashing the strategy side of things. We haven't got the best car. If we look at our car analysis, it is definitely not the best car. I've had lots of comments from some people say, oh, it's too easy, that sort of thing. And may well, you may well be right in terms of how we've got to this point, but somebody reminded me in the comments, just look at Brawn GP. At the end of the day, it took Honda, obviously 2008 they were absolutely god awful, and then in 2009 had the best car. With regulation changes, these things can happen, and I think that's what's really important to remember about this sort of F1 Manager world, is that every save is completely different. And somebody explained actually that they'd done some reading about the growth potential, because we've talked about it a few times. Why is it different in my save compared to others? And I do want to shout them out. It was Scott SGM, so thank you very much to Scott. And he read up that every single save is different, and is in his particular save, 4 years in his second driver is Piastri, and he's 83 overall. And he's done a 10 years in the future save. He's a second driver, and he's still only 82. So every driver grows differently based on your save, and that is all generated at the start. Basically, the path that your F1 Manager career goes down, it is kind of determined right at the start when you click Start New Game, and that might be different regulation changes, and obviously it could be made much more difficult if they go back to the old point scoring system. I think as we get into the future of this game, it's going to be a completely different landscape, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I mean, if you look at Red Bull are meant to have the fastest car, but at the moment they're just not showing that in qualifying and in the race. If we look at Ferrari, they've got a better car than us. If we look at Mercedes, we are better than Mercedes. We've developed better than them this season. If you look at McLaren, in some aspects, they're better than us. Alpine are definitely a better team than us. Alpine are arguably the third best team on the grid this season. But we are maximising our results, and none more prominent than in Canada. We qualified 7th and 10th. We had no right to get a 1-2, but our strategy was spot on. We took the risk, and it definitely paid off. Some people were saying Gasly was shafted with a strategy, and I would argue, if Gasly was on the intermediate tyres and that was the best tyre to be on, then Alonso would have been shafted. So, it swings and roundabouts. Alonso is getting the look at this part of the season. We'll see how he gets on going forward. But it was a fabulous Grand Prix. Really enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys did too. And let's have a little look at our new rear wing. We have got a brand new rear wing in stock, so let's go and make 4 of them. They should be ready for the British Grand Prix in 11 days time. And let's head to some car development. So we have got our underfloor coming, and the new ATR period has begun. So I'm actually going to do a tiny bit of research towards next season, because there is going to be some changes for low speed. So I want to get ahead on that. We're going to do a little bit of research for the front wing, and try and up our ante with that, and get that sorted out. So let's get 2 engineers on that, and let's get 2 engineers researching the rear wing as well. because we've just had a rear wing upgrade, so let's try and make sure that we don't lose out. We'll put a little bit more focus on that. Just keep on balanced. And we'll stake 3 engineers on that one. And then by August, we should have all of our engineers back ready and raring to go for some more designs after the summer break. I think that underfloor upgrade is going to be really important for us. So, let's see. Any development points for anybody? Quite a few people commented last time out that a lot of the staff go out of contract in Season 2. So if we want Pete Bonington... If we want Pete Bonington or whatever, then that's when to get him. Whoops. You know, I think it would be very nice to get Pete, but we will see. Lots of people will be out of contract come the end of the season, and we'll see how our funds are doing by then as well. So let's continue on. Important email. So chassis low stock. Not entirely sure why that is. Why is our chassis low stock? I guess it's just gone down to 3, hasn't it? So let's add another one in there. Board confidence check-in. So then high confidence. But there you go. There's our car development sort of update, and you can see, you know, in certain aspects, we're the 5th best car. So I honestly think the back down to earth is going to come very, very soon. But we've got our race preview. We are leading the constructors by 50 points. Alonso is 22 points ahead in the driver's standings ahead of his teammates. So let's see what we can do here. We'll guarantee some qualifying positions. We'll say both are going to get into the top 10, which I think is risky. I think we could well end up out in Q2 here, a bit like Australia. But we will try. They want us to get the fastest lap, and we're going to say 2 drivers are going to finish in the top 8. I wonder if you can promise a one. Ooh, yeah, it's not worth it for an extra 100 grand. Let's do another finish position streak. So we're going to say we're going to finish in the top 8 with both drivers over the next 5 Grand Prix. Okay, right. Let's get ourselves into the race weekend then. Here it goes. Well, hang on. We'll just check there's no development points. There you go. Sometimes you do just get the odd one in between races because of your team hub and whatever. But there you go. Let's get into the British Grand Prix. Can't wait for this one.
We're here in legendary Silverstone, where the very first Formula One World Championship Grand Prix was held back in 1950. It's a place where every tuft of grass breathes motorsport, and the crowd are already crackling with excitement. Silverstone demands a lot of power from cars, with numerous twists and historic turns. Downforce is going to be a key factor to manage if teams want to succeed here. We're about halfway through the season now, and there's still plenty of time for everything to change. All eyes are on the teams and how they tackle the rest of the year. Let the weekend begin!
Awesome. Right, let's have a look at the weather then. So it's going to be cloudy on Friday, cloudy on Sunday, cloudy on Saturday. Great British weather for you. Now, just out of interest, I've gone through session 1. We had Piastri in for Gasly. Now, somebody said, why don't you use Piastri for FP2? And that is... it's just not allowed in Formula 1. I'm fairly sure it is a thing that they are only allowed in FP1. Obviously, once you get to qualifying, that's where you're putting your driver in. But I think, should your first 2 drivers be fit, they should be in FP2 and FP3. So there's nothing we can do there. We can't put them into Gasly's car again either. So yeah, just a little heads up on that. You can see how bad our confidences are. So I'll need to make sure that we get back on top of that. Just went the wrong direction on Saturday. Let's see what we can do here. A little bit of setup stuff. I know you guys enjoy it when we do have these times. Honestly, I think we're gonna have to do something a bit more like that, a bit more straight line speed. It's the traction that I'm most worried about at the moment. Get that, yeah, more that way, I think. So less traction. Something like that might be quite good for Pierre. Let's have a little look at Fernando Alonso. He's optimal on braking stability. Yeah, something more like a so. Right, get that down a little bit. How's that looking? That's looking pretty good, actually. Right, so I'll see you guys at the end of practice. Okay, so at the end of FP3, you can see Pierre Gasly P5, Alonso P9. That was the same as in session 2. So, as I suspected, I don't really think we're in the race for pole position today. But we'll see how we get on. 85% and 91% on the confidence. Not our best, but we will try our best to continue. And let's get into qualifying. Let's see how we get on in session 1. I think we might have to do session 2 because there you go. Fernando Alonso only 12th in that session. It is going to be pretty close to see if he can get through to Q3. So here we go. Let's get ourselves into qualifying 2.
Radio check.
I think it's okay.
Green light, green light.
So Fernando Alonso is going to lead us out there. We need him to get a good qualifying lap in pretty much straight away. Now with Pierre Gasly, we are going to go on the used soft tyre. So Alonso away. And there goes Pierre. So Fernando Alonso is going to be the first man round. This powertrain isn't ideal, is it? And that could be why he's so slow, which is an issue. Pierre's powertrain isn't great either, so let's hop on board with Fernando Alonso. Of course, goes purple through the first sector. We'll see how he compares to his teammate Pierre. If we can get Alonso through to Q3, that's all that'll matter. But it would explain why he's so slow. Pierre goes quicker, and you know, a 10th quicker. That's a decent amount in a sector between teammates. And here he comes through Maggots and Beckett's. Oh no! Get out of the way. Yeah, he's okay. He's alright. 37.9 in the middle sector. What about Pierre Gasly? I'm just going to hop back on. Yeah, no, he is still attacking. So here comes Fernando Alonso. He comes round 37.9 there. 37.9 for Alonso. He comes up to the line. It's in the 27s. It's a 127.2. And
yeah, take it easy.
Yep.
Pierre Gasly coming round the final corner now. What can he do? 126.9 in fact for Pierre Gasly.
Safe fuel, safe fuel.
And well, Alonso 2.5 tenths off. Let's get them round back into the pits. Perez goes quickest. Luckily, a few people are going slower than Fernando, but we may, well, I suppose those ones are slightly less used for Fernando. I think, yeah, we're going to try and save a fresh set for Q3 for Gasly. This is going to be tough. Can we? No, we can't. That's annoying. We'll be able to swap gearboxes before the race for Alonso, but it might cost him a place in Q3. So people will start coming out very, very shortly. There they come. Big gaggle of cars, of course. We do not want to be the last ones out there. I'm going to send Fernando out now. He's more at risk. And then Pierre. I think we're okay. I don't really know why those guys haven't come out. They must just not be coming out. Ah, because hey, it's Q2, you idiot, Joe. Oh. Oh, God. Right. So, I think we'll stay on board with Fernando. We'll keep an eye on Gasly's lap, but it's more important that Alonso finds, you know, a tenth of a second or so, I think. Get ahead of Russell. I'm not sure Russell will be able to improve quite as much. Let's see how sector times are going. Magnussen's not improving. Leclerc, of course, is. Sainz not. Okay, right. Let's focus on our lap. And here we go. Fernando Alonso begins his final lap of Q2. So here we go. Can he get through? He's the championship leader by 22 points. It's very, very important that Fernando Alonso gets through this session. Checkered flag is waved. Magnussen is going to be the first person over the line. Only a slight improvement needed for him. And he is improving. Russell goes purple in Sector 1. That is not what you want to see. At least Alonso goes green. He is the man at risk now. Magnussen goes P8. Here comes Leclerc. Leclerc goes P2. What about Sainz? He's still P3. Here comes Perez over the line. He goes P4. Now Vettel. Oh, P6. Excellent for him. As Pierre Gasly, he's coming through. Copse corner now. I think he just about made it to the line. Alonso, green in Sector 1, green in Sector 2. But he's down to 14th currently. He's going to have to find quite a bit of time here. Gasly's also out. Alonso's going to have to find half a second here. As we come round the final corner, is Fernando Alonso going to manage to make it? He comes up to the line. And he only 13th. Wow. Well, here's Gasly. What can Gasly do? He comes round. Only 12th. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, 12th and 13th. That has gone very, very wrong. Pierre Gasly a tenth of a second away from Bottas there. Alonso 2/10 off his teammate. Just not good enough. It was a very, very good time in Q2, but not good enough. And, well, that is a shocker.
It's race day with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
Aston Martin did a good job during qualifying, and they're pretty much where everyone expected them to be on the grid. Now, it's up to them to defy expectations during the race itself. This weekend, Red Bull displayed promise during qualifying. Now, they need to capitalize on their grid position and get a good race under their belts. And the weather is sunny here today, apart from a few clouds. Let's hope they remain scattered on the horizon.
This is sure to be quite the spectacle then, and we've got a front row seat for today's race here at Silverstone.
Okay, right then. what do we do here? Like, we could start ourselves from the back of the grid and give ourselves brand new engine parts. We've qualified out of position. I think we've got the pace to get back through the field. It's a risky decision. We can't buy a new one anyway. Well, we're going to install the fresh engine on the car. Can't do anything with that. I suppose we could have a new ERS, couldn't we? Could we have a new ERS? I don't know. I mean, 64%, that's not bad. What about Fernando? What about Fernando? Let's have a little look. So engine, we can go for that one. Yeah, he has got his brand new ERS, to be fair. So, I think that's fine. And that should help us in the race. So we don't have to start at the back. That's okay. I think we're possibly going to start on the hard tyres with both of our drivers. Try and go long into the race. Let's just have a look at this. So yeah, can we edit this? No? Can edit this one. So I'm going to delete that stint. We're going to go quite hard in the first runs. Do something, oops, if we do something like that. Yeah. Something like that. That's a decent strategy. That's a decent strategy for Pierre. Now, for Fernando, we're going to go a little softer with him in terms of his aggression. He's going to go slow and steady, wins the race. He's going to take them fairly long. He could even potentially go softs. No, that's risky. No, we'll go hard. We'll go long. And then we'll attack towards the end with Fernando. So he's going to go to about lap 30 on those tyres. Pierre Gasly will be going to around... hang on now, they're both the same. Let's edit that again. I mean, that's apparently slightly quicker, but no, I think... Let's just go with that. They'll both pit on lap 30. I don't really get the benefit of what we're doing then, particularly. And Gasly's is slightly quicker, so let's give Alonso that creative license. Let's just do it. They're both on the same strategy. We cannot say that they're being treated differently. We'll shove as much fuel in the car as we need to so that they can push for as long as they want. And let's get ourselves into the Grand Prix. It's going to be a tight one, this. It really is.
I hope I'm not tempting fate here, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. There we have Pierre Gasly. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. And here's Alonso, the team's second driver. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. And we're just moments away now. Hold on tight, it's the British Grand Prix. And it's lights out.
Lights out,
and
away we go. Let's keep an eye on Charles Leclerc, who's leading from pole position. Max Verstappen potentially having a look down the inside, but it's Lewis Hamilton that's having a look around the outside of Verstappen. This is great side-by-side action from the two old rivals, and Lewis Hamilton is going to get his old rival here down the inside of Max Verstappen, and Lewis Hamilton up to second position. George Russell chasing after Max Verstappen himself. Let's hop on board with him, see how he gets on here. Doesn't look like he's going to have quite enough, but Carlos Sainz following these through in P5. Perez is P6 currently. There's Lando Norris in 7th, Bottas 8th, and then the 2 Alpines 9th and 10th. We've got Ricciardo in 11th with Gasly having a little look, but doesn't manage
Still a lot to play for.
to make it stick. And here comes K-Mag. He's going to have a look down the inside of Copse Corner, I think. Fernando Alonso. This is going to be side by side, but Alonso stays in front. And Alonso in 13th as it stands. Mick Schumacher currently in 14th. Zhou 16th behind. Then Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Alex Albon at the back of the field. Albon potentially having a little look at Stroll here. But the whole field, except our 2 cars, have gone medium. Who's going to have the better strategy come the end of the race? That's going to be the question. Pierre Gasly struggling to keep up with Daniel Ricciardo in these opening laps. Genuinely not sure we have the pace today, folks. This could be a real baptism of fire for us. Can Pierre Gasly close up on Daniel here? Still no 0.4 seconds behind. And it is important that we stick to our strategy. We don't try and over-attack at the start of this Grand Prix. We're going long. Hopefully building a gap in clear air, because our car certainly doesn't seem to run as well in traffic. But in clear air, it can work wonders. Not like the Mercedes of old. Well, let's get ourselves back down to balanced, and
Okay.
Fernando Alonso only a
Safe
second behind now.
Okay.
Just hasn't been as quick as his teammate this weekend. The championship leader, but if we come out of this pointless, that would be
DRS will be
an
active.
absolute disaster. But that's a decent lap from Fernando. Fastest lap, in fact. Don't know where that came from, but we'll take it. Maybe shows we've got a little bit more pace to show. Let's have a little look at the weather forecast. It is looking cloudy, but we're certainly not expecting any rain today. Managing to pull away from the Haas cars behind. But it's going to be quite the DRS train, this. Need to keep our tyres in good nick, though. Certainly seem to be doing that so far. Okay then, right, let's zoom it forward. Are we gonna have a look at Ricciardo? Doesn't seem like it. And Gasly puts in the fastest lap, followed by Alonso. So we are the quickest guys out there at the moment. But just can't get through. And now here we go. Is Gasly going to be able to make a move on Daniel Ricciardo? No, he's not. It is very much a DRS train from first all the way down to 13th. Lewis Hamilton leading this British Grand Prix, but Charles Leclerc takes that position back. We are building a lovely gap up to K-Mag behind. And I wonder, do we just go standard here? Let's try and eke these tyres out a little bit more. Let's stay in this DRS train. Let's save the fuel, save the tyres. And try and go very long. There's not a lot that's going to happen between now and the pit stops, particularly. Kevin Magnussen, 5 seconds behind. Still pulling out the gap to him. Ricciardo definitely struggling to keep up with the guys in front as it stands, but it's in this final sector that we all just concertina up. So time to up the ante a little bit. Zoom on to a later lap. Around about lap 18, lap 19. Some of the gaps are starting to develop, but we're still very, very close to the leader's pace. What are we to the leader? 5 seconds, so that's not bad. And Gasly's actually made a move here. Gasly's made a move, so let's chuck him up to aggressive now, see if he can catch
Copy.
Ocon. I'd love to see a replay. I don't know if we're going to get to see it. Gasly not in the DRS range of the car in front, and that's certainly not going to help. He's 1.5 behind here, and there goes Daniel Ricciardo round the outside. That, of course, turns into the inside line, and Ricciardo's still there, and I think Gasly's going to back out here. Oh, no, they're sticking in. Oh, no, he does now drop out. Is Fernando going to have a go? I think he is, but...
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Wow, that was very, very close, but that has almost ruined our race, because if we do not get back into that DRS range, that is going to be a killer. And you know, you can see how far behind Ocon we are now. That is a disaster. It really is. So Gasly's going to go more aggressive. Alonso's going to stick on standard for now. Gasly should be able to get past Ricciardo fairly easily here. I'm actually going to give him a little bit of creative license here. I'm going to go...
You can stop lifting.
I'm going to actually attack on the tyres because I want to get past Ricciardo and then catch up to Ocon. If we can do that, it repairs our race. So here we go. Easy move on Daniel Ricciardo. And now, push forward. Get up to the back of Ocon. That's what we're telling Gasly to do right now.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
And here he goes. Straight away, he joins up to the back of this DRS train. He may well be able to get all the way up past Bottas here if he keeps deploying.
You can use energy. Use energy.
Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso, let's give him the same creative license.
Used energy.
Okay.
Should be able to get past Ricciardo. And there goes Gasly. Gasly up to 9th now.
Okay.
This is great. Can he go down the inside of Norris? Not quite. But past Ocon and Bottas.
Good job.
And now Ricciardo back into the game. Fastest lap from Pierre Gasly. Perhaps in a failed swoop. There goes Gasly. He's past Norris now.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
On neutral. And I think he can get behind Vettel. We're going to go standard. We're going to go balanced. He should be able to get ahead of
Copy.
Vettel fairly easily. Can Alonso get back into the top 10 here? Exciting part of the race. It was all caused a little bit by falling behind and certainly not wanting to do that. I'll hop back on Alonso in a second. We've potentially got a move for Gasly on Sebastian Vettel here. Not this lap. Not this lap. We're going to harvest as well. Try and
We just need to
get
charge
that
up.
energy back up.
Okay.
And nothing for Fernando Alonso. So let's hop back to standard and
Save fuel, save fuel.
Copy.
try and get ourselves back to where we were. Vettel's gonna have, Gasly's gonna have DRS here to help him catch back up to Vettel. That's pretty good. Now he's gonna have a run all the way up the Copse corner. Needs to stay close through Maggots and Beckett's. And DRS again. Closes him nicely in. Trying to harvest that energy as much as he can. But also defend from Lando Norris behind. As Norris is right there. But Gasly doing a great job. And we're harvesting that energy. So 0.7 seconds behind Vettel. Once we've harvested enough energy, then we can try and push towards Perez. That's the idea. That's, I guess, the plan. Once we've got a full tank of harvest, we can then just go for it. A bit like we did with Ocon a while ago. What's good is that we're looking after our tyres quite nicely. We'll be able to go quite long. By the end of this lap, we should have a full tank of ERS. We should do the same with Fernando.
We've got loads of energy.
Yeah.
So we're going to deploy, we're going to attack
Use energy if you need
with
it. Use
Gasly
energy.
now.
Okay.
We'll do the same job with Alonso. We'll harvest and attack as much as he can. So here we go. This should be an easy overtake for Gasly. And it's all about trying to get a second ahead before
That's it.
the hangar straight. It's an absolutely beautiful circuit, isn't it, Silverstone?
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained
Gasly.
a race position.
0.8 seconds ahead. Come on, through Maggots and Beckett's. We need you to get more than a second, matey. Oh, it's going to be so close. It's not quite a second ahead, but how much is Vettel going to close up? He did a fair bit, to be fair.
Stay cool, man, you're doing a good job.
So Alonso down to 13th now. That's a bit of a problem.
McLaren gain a position.
It hasn't worked out well for Alonso. We're going to keep pushing with Gasly. Come on, get that second ahead. I think he just about has, but is Vettel going to have DRS? He does. Gasly's complexer corners where he can push ahead. Very good. Right, out of energy now.
The charge here is.
Copy.
This is good. Come on.
There's Alonso getting on. He's still following Daniel Ricciardo. We've now dropped off the back of Ocon. So here goes Fernando. I think we're going to have
Do what
to
you can.
Okay, copy.
attack now.
You've done a good job.
Try and get ourselves back into that battle.
Energy if you need it.
Okay,
Yeah, Gasly closing in on the back of Perez. If he can get within a second, that would be fabulous. And then if we can stay in that DRS train. Oh, a bit of... Oh, somebody's off! Somebody's off! Yellow flags. I think that was Charles Leclerc. What happened to Charles Leclerc there? No idea. Let's see.
Watch this. There's Leclerc.
So Charles Leclerc, massive lock up there from P3.
That's the lockup.
And it's a good job that there was plenty of runoff there for the Monegasque. So, yep, Gasly now using his tyres, trying to... Hang on, Verstappen. I swear we were the only two on hards. When did this happen? I don't remember that. I feel like at the start of the race everybody was on mediums. Am I wrong? Anyway, sort of doesn't matter. Gasly's still pushing. He's still able to push. Got no ARS for Fernando. Oh, who's that? That's somebody going very slowly. That's Lando Norris. What has happened to Lando Norris? He's coming into the pits. I don't know what has happened. So yeah, people are coming into the pits now. The medium tyre runners. But yeah, no idea what's happened to Norris. Has he got a puncture or something? He's on hard tyres. He's going on to hards. I'm so confused. So confused. Perhaps they were just going on to hard tyres this lap. Maybe that's what it was. Because surely you wouldn't go from hards onto another set of hards. That would make it a two-stop race. Can I see what tyres they've been on? Tyre history? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Everybody was on medium, so I wasn't insane. So that's a little glitch that I've never noticed before. I don't really know what happened there. Yeah, we need to harvest some energy with Gasly now. It's a decent way ahead of Ocon, so I think we're gonna go back to...
Just lift and coast.
Oh my goodness, they're going slow again. It's Alonso with Danny Rick. I think Ricciardo will be coming in this lap, so... Oh, he's not. He's not. Hamilton in the pits from the lead of the Grand Prix.
Fuel.
Sainz now takes over the lead. I'm going to just try and recover everything for Pierre. Because they're battling up top. It's given us a chance to just close in slightly. Let's zoom it forward. So Gasly P4 as it stands. think we're going to have to go neutral.
Energy's good.
Neutral with Fernando
Okay,
as
copy.
well. We're still following Daniel Ricciardo. We're going to have so much better tyres than the other guys because they've come in and they've put on the hard tyres, and the hard tyres are going to be very old by the end of the Grand Prix. We've still got 10 laps until we want to pit. So Gasly now all of a sudden pulling away from Ocon again. Now he's not harvesting. But the top three definitely taking their tyres a lot longer than the others did. And that's made for a very interesting strategical battle in this Grand Prix, because we're going to have fresher tyres, but equally they're going to have fresher tyres. But yeah, still not coming into the pits. Now, hopefully Fernando will be able to make a move on Daniel this lap. Let's hop on board with him. I'm fancying him this lap. And I was right to fancy him because he did make the move. And now I don't think it's worth Fernando
Good job. That's going to help.
absolutely bolting. I don't think it is worth it.
Aston Martin with a great play
I think
there.
it's more
They
worth
moved
it
up a
when
place.
the other guys come in that Alonso puts in 5 qualifying laps. And there goes Perez, there goes Sainz into the pit lane. So Gasly takes over P2 in this Grand Prix. Alonso stays ahead of Danny Rick. So George Russell leads the way. Pierre Gasly in P2. Ocon comes in now, as does Ricciardo. Now, we've looked after our tyres really, really well with both drivers. Realistically, I think we can probably go for it a little bit. Russell in now. So, Gasly, attack. Alonso, attack the tyres. That's what I want to see. I want to see them get everything out of them before their pit stop. There's still going to be another 7 laps, or 5 laps until we come in. So let's just absolutely go for it. Perez is currently P3 ahead of Russell, although I think Russell is going to perhaps make a move. I can't believe Russell is now in a position where he could win the British Grand Prix. Hamilton P6, he was chasing it before, and Russell takes over P3. And Russell is in the net lead of this British Grand Prix. That is quite unbelievable. And now, Fernando Alonso in P2. That's going to be the key to this. I think Fernando comes in first. We see where he comes out. Whose tyres are better? I mean, Alonso's are better, so I guess it has to be Gasly that comes in first. Or maybe we try and double stack it. It'd be risky, but we could potentially pull it off. So let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. Russell and Perez are battling it out. I mean, at the very worst, we should come out ahead of K-Mag, but I'm hoping that we'll come out ahead of Ocon. Or Vettel, sorry. That's the dream. Let's just have a little look at the gap to Vettel. 25 seconds. It's going to be very tight. They reckon we're going to come out in 6th place with Pierre, which would be ahead of Vettel. We're also going to pit with Fernando. I'm going to bring him into the pits this lap, and we're going to double stack our drivers.
Box.
Okay, box.
Nope, that's fine. So he is coming in. Oh, we got yellow flags. Somebody's ran wide. I don't know who.
That sounds Sounds like someone's gone
Carlos
live there.
Sainz, well, where is Sainz? He's still ahead of Hamilton. Verstappen now P7, so it's going to be very, very tight, this. So let's zoom it on. I'm going to bring our tyres in a little bit. So here comes Pierre Gasly. He's first into the pits, and there goes Fernando Alonso.
Copy.
I think this is the perfect gap for a double stack. Where are we going to come out? I don't think we're in the running for the win here. Unless the tyre differential works, but we know that that's not a thing in the game this year. Here comes Fernando. He's into the pit lane now. He gets changed. Absolute brilliant work from our pit crew there. 2.6 and 2.5. And where do they come out? Oh, they're coming out in the battle for the leads. Gasly comes out P3. Alonso comes out just behind Max Verstappen. But Gasly has come out P3. That was terrific work from the pit crew. And now, I think Gasly's got to push. I think we got to try and get into the DRS range of Russell and Perez. Fernando Alonso, meanwhile, he's
use energy.
he's struggling a little bit. I think we have to attack. We're both drivers. Try and use
Copy.
what we've got.
Push now.
Copy.
Try and use it. Yeah. So Fernando Alonso. Absolutely attacking. What about Gasly? He is in the DRS range. Right, back down to neutral then. Oh, I thought he was going to have a go at Perez there, but these are good tyres.
Okay, happy to lift and coast.
And he's going to have a look down the inside now. Oh, what a move that is. Oh, it's side by side as they go through the final corner. But Perez gets his elbows out and stays ahead of Pierre Gasly. We've still got Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton in the battle as well. What about Fernando Alonso? He is, I think, just about going to be back into the battle. This is quite unbelievable in this British Grand Prix. How on earth has Gasly managed to get into this fight? And I think it was running long, not battling, being in clear air. And here goes Pierre Gasly, potentially having a look round the outside of Sergio Perez. And he manages it. Absolutely unbelievable. Round the outside. And Pierre Gasly is in the second place in this Grand Prix. We have no right being in this battle right now. This is unbelievable. And Alonso has got past Vettel, and Alonso now is going to be having a look
Like
at Max Verstappen.
just gained a race position.
This is crazy. Oh, well, here we go through Maggots and Beckett's, and look at this. Gasly's going to have Russell here. And Gasly is going to be leading this British Grand Prix. Here he goes. He's going to go around the outside, but he's already through. He's already through. And Pierre Gasly leads here in Britain. We're going to deploy. We're going to try and get more than a second ahead. And Fernando Alonso through on Max Verstappen as well. Unbelievable. From the Spaniard, the championship leader, showing his champion qualities. Absolutely brilliant. Gasly sticks in the fastest lap of the race, and he's absolutely flying out there. Alonso now beats that fastest lap. These two have seen the Aston Martin come alive on these medium tyres, and Gasly already a second ahead of George Russell. Unbelievable. What a Grand Prix so far. What a battle it could turn out to be, trying to hang on to this lead, because, as I say, I don't think we've got any right being this far up the field. We qualified 12th and 13th on pure pace. That was merit. That was merit. That was our pace. But now we are flying in the race, and Fernando Alonso nearly a second ahead of Max Verstappen. Not quite a second though. But Alonso is definitely going to struggle to keep up with the guys in front. Pierre Gasly, what a performance this is. And if we come out with a win here, that would just be purely ridiculous. It really would. Okay, so following an enforced break, let's keep going with the action. Gasly leading the way, 1.6 seconds ahead of George Russell. Currently, Fernando Alonso ahead of Max Verstappen in P6 as it stands. And I think Alonso is going to slowly catch up to Lewis Hamilton. And he's going to get involved in the battle as well. But Pierre Gasly is pulling away at the front as we are watching. This is quite unbelievable. From 13th on the grid, although I think it was Gasly that was P12. He is absolutely smashing it out there. What a performance so far. 2.1 seconds ahead now on those brand new medium tyres. So much better than the guys around him. And so much so, we're going to drop him down to aggressive. There's no need to be pushing him to the absolute max. Let's not run out of tyres by the end of this Grand Prix. We'll keep an eye on the gap because Russell is closing in slightly. And there goes Carlos Sainz. He's going to be having a little look around the outside of Stowe. Doesn't manage it this time though. Pierre Gasly, 2.2 seconds ahead of George Russell. This could well be another fastest lap coming up here. Not quite. He's still gaining time. Now, Fernando Alonso, I think he does need to attack. But he is almost within 2 seconds of Lewis Hamilton in front. Let's zoom on the action a little bit. Keep an eye on the gap for Gasly and Russell. Yeah. And Sainz now up into P2, but it looks like Russell having that battle. But Pierre Gasly is absolutely smashing it right now. Let's just have a little look at the strategy view at the cars. So he's got 17.6 laps of fuel left. Fernando Alonso, meanwhile, he's got 18 laps of fuel left. And we have got 17 laps to go. So it's going to be pretty tight, but Gasly is pulling out that gap. We're going to pop it. Oh, Alonso is through on Perez. What has happened here?
This was the Aston Martin.
So there he goes. He goes round the outside of Perez and he is through. So Fernando Alonso now up to P5 and right on the back of Lewis Hamilton.
That was a big moment. The team are clearly delighted.
And I think he might have also got Lewis Hamilton around cups. And he has done. He is ahead of Lewis. Lewis is in the pits.
Like
as is Verstappen. They're two stopping. They're two stopping.
So this was the Aston Martin.
That is crazy. But there you go. Alonso passed Lewis Hamilton. And now they're coming into the pits. And well, I think we could well have a 1-2 here, which would be unbelievable from where we started. And certainly should not be the case.
Yeah, take it easy.
Perez about 2 seconds behind. Okay. I have no idea. Are they going to... well, no, I think they're surely one stopping, aren't they? The guys around us. Just going to drop off slightly. I think Alonso has got the pace to catch up to Carlos Sainz regardless here. Gasly still
safe fuel.
Bringing out the gap.
Okay.
Alonso does have more fuel than Gasly, so should be able to push a little bit harder. But while we're still gaining a little bit of time on Carlos Sainz, we are, I think, more within. Well, although we are losing slightly now. Yeah, I think maybe we do push with Fernando in that case.
No saving required.
Let's see if we can catch up here. But Pierre Gasly leading the race by 4.2 seconds. He is absolutely smashing it out front. I think tyre-wise, I think we're going to be absolutely fine here. We can look after them nicely. Lewis Hamilton in P8. I mean, he's going to be absolutely pushing pedal to the metal here. And you can see Hamilton ever so slightly slower than Gasly. So, even so, Gasly is still doing a better job than Lewis. I don't think he'll catch up to Ricciardo. I really don't. 17.9 seconds the gap there. Fernando Alonso now 1.5 behind Carlos Sainz. And we are on for a 1-2 here. And this would be an unbelievable 1-2. I don't know how, but the pace of the car has come alive on these medium tyres. The other guys, of course, they're not pushing because they're trying to make a one-stop work. We made a one-stop work. We stuck by them. We ran long, looked after our tyres while we were in clear air, while they were all battling. And Pierre Gasly coming out in P3, I don't know how he managed that. I really do not know how he managed that. He must have put in some really impressive pace in the middle part of the stint. But you can see right there, everything is going as we expect at the moment. This is just really, really positive. And now Fernando Alonso almost within a second of the guys in front here. Tyre-wise, still better than at least Carlos Sainz in front. Let's see if we can drop that down even further to standard, just to give us a little bit of an edge towards the end of the Grand Prix. And while Pierre Gasly in the clear air, he is doing a terrific job, and Alonso nearly within a second. Did just dip within a second there. Sainz just can't get past Russell, and that could be our issue. But look, Alonso right within touching distance of these two now. That's George Russell in second place. He is 5 seconds behind Pierre Gasly now. Then we've got Sainz following him, and Fernando is now within DRS range of those cars in front. If he can stay within through Maggots and Beckett's, which he should do on the fresher tyres, he can then close in with the DRS. So here we go. Fernando with the DRS is pulling towards these two guys in front. And now the championship leader really showing his qualities here. He really is. This is fantastic from Fernando Alonso. And now he's right in behind Carlos Sainz. We've got Perez in P5, just absolutely nowhere. Red Bull once again, their pace not coming to realisation. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton has lost a position to Max Verstappen, but they're just far too far behind Daniel Ricciardo, who himself is closing in on Esteban Ocon. Here goes Fernando Alonso. He is closing in on Carlos Sainz, and you think within a lap or two that's going to be it. But let's hop on board with him, because he is side by side with Carlos Sainz, who himself is side by side on Russell, but has to back out of it. Now Alonso has got an excellent run up towards Copse potentially here, but I think he's going to sensibly wait for his next opportunity. Ricciardo, meanwhile, did get past Esteban Ocon. Sergio Perez kind of in a race of his own right now. So we're going to attack with Fernando now. Let's see what he can do.
They'll come to us. Copy.
Is he going to pass George Russell as well as Carlos Sainz here? No, he has to back out of it. So Sainz finally passed George here. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly able to look after his tyres brilliantly out front. And Gasly's tyres compared to Russell and Sainz, still better. Still better. Let's see, it's going to get worse towards the end of the Grand Prix, but as long as we don't dip below 30%, they're not going to really cause too much of an issue. Here goes George Russell. Is he going to have a look at Carlos Sainz? No, not this time. But Alonso's still in there, still sticking his nose in. And there goes Russell down the inside of Sainz. That's an excellent run that Russell's got, but he's lost out a little bit, had to decelerate, and now is going to have to defend from Fernando Alonso.
Do everything you can, mate.
Copy.
This is so close. As we go through Maggots and Beckett's, I think Russell's going to be under a lot of pressure here. And we're going to go overtake as well. We're going to try and make this the moment that Alonso gets up into P2. Here we go. Fernando Alonso is round the outside of George Russell. He's now going to have a little run on Carlos Sainz. Oh, they're side by side as they go through Stowe. And he's run out of battery. Well, let's get harvesting. Let's get harvesting. I think that's important. We'll stay attacking on the tyres so they can stay nice and close. Okay, right. So is Alonso going to be able to stay close enough to Russell and Sainz? All he needs to do is stay within that DRS zone. So we'll zoom it forward. That's exactly what's happening now. Pierre Gasly getting towards the traffic of Hülkenberg and Tsunoda. Should be able to get past both of them fairly easily here. That's exactly what he does. The final couple of corners. Trying desperately to keep Fernando Alonso within range. Gasly is just pumping in the laps now up top. It's just so much quicker than anyone else because he is not having to battle anybody. Meanwhile, Hamilton and Verstappen still battling side by side. As Russell moves past Sainz into P2 once again. It's going to be an intense last few laps, but it looks like Gasly is going to run away with this Grand Prix. And I just cannot believe it. From 12th place on the grid, starting on the hard tyres, I do not know how Pierre Gasly has managed this.
Copy.
So, Fernando Alonso, we're going to wait until next lap. We're going to keep him on neutral for now. And then we're going to start going for it. Oh, he's having a little look already on George Russell. Goes down the inside. Russell's there on the outside. Is Alonso going to have to back out of it? I don't think so. Alonso through. Alonso is through. And now he's going to have a perfect opportunity to get past Carlos Sainz. Okay, Alonso's tyres, they're going to struggle come the end of this race. But he is going to get into P2 here. And we're going to go full deploy.
Energy if you need it.
And I need him to swing to the inside here. I need him to have a go at Sainz. It's not happening. Drop down to neutral. There are yellow flags. What has happened in Sector 1? I don't know. I think somebody must have just ran wide. It was Yuki Tsunoda actually through Stowe. It's allowed Hülkenberg to catch up. And we've got Russell right there as well. Behind us. But the problem is Sainz is going to get DRS from Hülkenberg in front. So here goes Fernando. Full deploy.
Use energy.
He brakes later. He goes round the outside of Carlos Sainz. This is so close, but he's through. Fernando Alonso up in the P2 in this British Grand Prix. Fantastic manoeuvre.
Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
And we are now 1 and 2. How on earth have we managed this? This is just absolutely ridiculous. And now Alonso's going to get DRS once again, and he's going to push on now away from Carlos Sainz. Wow, that was ridiculous from Tsunoda. He cut right across Sainz there. Alonso now is going to try and push on. I think we're going to have to make sure that we watch the fuel for Fernando and watch the tyres as well more carefully, because I don't think they're going to make it as it currently stands. Let's just go aggressive for now. I don't think he needs to absolutely push. He's deploying the battery. 7.6 behind Pierre Gasly. And now nearly 2 seconds in front of Carlos Sainz. So now we can go back to neutral, back to standard, and we can try and nurse both these cars to the finish.
Okay, copy.
Should be absolutely fine. Pierre Gasly leading the way. In no real danger of losing this lead. It's going to be his 3rd win of the season. It's sort of a little bit akin to Max Verstappen in real life. Right now, wherever you put us on the grid, we just seem to be able to find a way to lead the race. And for some reason, our race pace is just so much better than our qualifying pace. And I don't know why that is. There's no real reason for it. You look at our ranking against the rest of the grid, and there's no real explanation as to why we are being as dominant as we are in race trim. But George Russell, meanwhile, he's back past Carlos Sainz. Perez is still well behind, really. Ocon and Ricciardo still battling out. Verstappen and Hamilton still absolutely battling it out. But I don't think it would have quite been this easy had those guys not two-stopped. I think it would have been a much bigger battle. And Charles Leclerc, of course, with his lock-up earlier in the race, that really ruined him. He's still not back into the points following that. It is very interesting. But Fernando Alonso, 2.3 ahead. And gaining. And gaining as well. Pierre Gasly still pumping in the laps, and we'll let Pierre absolutely push on the final lap, try and get that fastest lap on the last lap of the race. But yeah, it's just been a sensational performance from both drivers to put a poor qualifying behind us on a weekend where we've started briefly looking at next year. It's fantastic to be able to put in probably our best performance of the season so far. We're harvesting with Gasly, trying to get as full a battery tank as possible. Can't really afford to do that with Fernando just because his gap's a little bit closer with Sainz. With Gasly we certainly can do. So time to attack on the tyres.
So we're having
Time
to
to push
the
on the fuel.
now push the tyres.
And soon it'll be time to deploy.
Stop, lift and coast.
So let's see if Pierre Gasly
So this is last lap. Last lap you can push the tyres.
can get himself
So use energy if you need it.
fastest lap. Fernando Alonso, we're just going to keep doing what he's doing. He can push on the fuel. There's no need to hold
No
that, but
saving required.
everything else, we don't want to take the risk, really. We don't want those tyres going below 30. Let's see how Pierre Gasly gets on. So green in the first sector. What's his last lap? I won 30.0. He did some harvesting, of course. And it is
We have low battery.
Going to be unbelievable. And somehow he's run out of battery. But there's the crowd. They're cheering him on because he's done such a fabulous job. He really has done. He's didn't obviously do FP1. What about through the middle sector? He's green again through the middle sector. I'm not sure he's going to actually manage to get fastest lap. And he comes round here. We'll get a little bit of deployment back.
You can use energy. Use energy. You can use energy.
So here we go. Pierre Gasly comes up to the line. He's going to win here in Great Britain. It's a fantastic performance from Pierre. And he wins his third race of the season. And I agree with Gasly. How on earth has he done that? Alonso comes over the line in P2. And that is quite unbelievable.
Pierre Gasly finishes in first place.
Astounding. I don't think anyone would deny them their victory lap after a race like that.
So there he is, Pierre, with a wonderful, wonderful performance. Yep, here comes. That is Fernando Alonso. He's done a really brilliant job this weekend to recover, really, up to P2. And, well, although his championship lead will be slightly smaller, us as a team, we're definitely growing. And another 1-2 at our home race in Silverstone as well. That is what you want to see. And, well, how's Stroll doing? He's in a race on his own. Mick Schumacher not far behind in that Haas. And then Alex Albon. Again in a race of his own, well ahead of his teammate. Zhou Guanyu is coming through Stowe corner now. Sonoda's already finished. Hulkenberg's already finished. Well, here we go then. Albon finishes. There goes Sonoda. Zhou, sorry. And that is it. 52 laps of the British Grand Prix. And what's come out at the end of it? An Aston Martin 1-2. And how on earth have we managed that?
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars. Never have a team been more deserving of a podium. Everyone must be ecstatic.
Just unbelievable. Pierre Gasly, his first win since
the Frenchman was in sublime
did he win in Monaco? Did he win?
Here.
I think he did. He won in Monaco, didn't he? And that was his last victory, I believe. No, it was Baku. It was Baku, and then Alonso won in Canada.
They'll be taking home their trophies and a decent haul of points.
You know you've won a lot when you don't know when and who
Aston
won
Martin,
which Grand
having
Prix.
An extremely good day at the track.
They do say success breeds success, and I'm sure the team will be hoping that holds true.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be forging ahead at full throttle through the Styrian forest. The Austrian Grand Prix is right around the corner.
Well, again, another power track coming up next time, but it was Pierre Gasly that wins the British Grand Prix ahead of Fernando Alonso in second, both of them gaining 11 places throughout the Grand Prix. He didn't quite get fastest lap. Had he had a full battery, I think he would have managed it. Carlos Sainz finishes third, George Russell in fourth there, with Perez fifth, Ocon sixth, with Ricciardo in seventh. Verstappen finishes eighth in the end, ahead of Lewis Hamilton in ninth, and Sebastian Vettel rounds out the top 10. No non-finishes today. Into the Drivers' Championship, Fernando Alonso now 15 points ahead of Pierre Gasly, and all of a sudden, in the space of a couple of Grand Prix, we've turned what was looking like a very, very close championship between 6, possibly 7 drivers into, well, a bit of a procession. Fernando Alonso 44 points ahead of his nearest non-Aston Martin challenger in Max Verstappen. And Pierre Gasly, you know, he's more than a race victory ahead of Verstappen as well. And, you know, I think our time will come where we're not going to get the points. Maybe where overtaking isn't quite as good. Perhaps the new engine helped us there in the race. But, yeah, we still lead the Constructors' Championship after 10 races. And just beginning to dream a little bit. Beginning to dream. Gasly's going to have a development point. Fernando Alonso is going to have a development point as well. What about Piastri? None for Piastri this weekend, unfortunately, for him. But 4.5 million in profit. That's what we've gained. Obviously, we failed some of our promises. We didn't get through to Q3 this weekend, but we managed to somehow get ourselves race victory. And there you go. Everything has been manufactured brilliantly. Now, we didn't even put our new rear wing on, did we? That was a bit of a silly thing, wasn't it? Let's go to the car setup. Let's install it on car 1 and car... Oops, not that one. That one. Car 1 and car 2. Hang on. No, that one. Yes, that's the one we want. So, did we have our original rear wing on? Perhaps we did. Let's have a little look. Oh, that is... Well, it hasn't actually helped our car, has it? I think other teams must have come in with some upgrades, because low speed, well, I mean, we've gone down to 3rd. I suppose that's where we've really improved, isn't it? Yeah, look. Look at our top speed now. And acceleration. So much better than with our previous rear wings. So that's really good to see. Good to hear. Some congratulations there and some post-race overview. But yeah, what an awesome Grand Prix. We're nearly halfway through now. We're still somehow leading the championship. I think it's going to stop soon. I do. I think we're going to have that baptism of fire. But I think because our drivers... well, I thought their morale would be high, but it's not. It certainly was a couple of races ago. I think that's making a big difference. But, yeah, we'll have to see as we go into the next episode. We have got a new regulations vote as well. We'll have a little look on that. Looks like it's going to be an overhaul to the scoring system that offers greater points overall. Oh, well, let's... I mean, that doesn't seem... Huh? I'm confused. What do they want? Oh, they want the fastest lap. Oh, they want double points for the last race. Goodness me. Well. That's funny. Anyway, we'll talk about that in the next episode. If you have enjoyed that, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 Manager videos. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.